now in Miami. Chessie, the only one not in Miami, but then but you got Slicks now. He's playing on normal latency for the first time really ever, at least in online events. So
yeah,
and obviously we saw a little bit of that last game, so that's kind of the first time we've been seeing that. And then yeah, you have Chessie playing now officially for the first time with State Green as well for in this cycle, as he wasn't able to play last cycle. So
yep.
That's State Green side. And then on TteS Sports, of course, they got Jeppins and Cheese Helmet that they picked up in place of Riser, who left to Complexity, and then Weintalaba stepping down as a top 5 or a starting man is now their 6th. So anyways, a lot of changes going around, roster shuffles in a sense, but there you go.
And it's important to note the winner of this series will play a Complexity, I believe, who is sitting after beating Team The Fire Rises 2-0 in their previous series. So winner will go face Complexity, and SG's just one game away from moving on. So I'm sure they want to clinch this very, very soon.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, TteS Sports, on the other hand, though, again, you're not going to lie. It really is the case with them getting these new rosters. And you brought up a great point in the podcast talking about this new lineup where it kind of feels like this is ultimately a case of maybe just friends coming together. And how serious are they going to be about it? What are they going to be able to – I still think it easily still a diamond-level team, of course. But, how much were they going to show their potential was the big question. How much were they going to practice and everything? So
right.
In game one, I mean, they were solid. Definitely some questionable decisions, with the Gravekeeper pickup in general. But they didn't play too bad. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. It does look like they actually are in the game, though. So
we got game number 2. We got TteS Sports going up against State Green. Game number 2 is officially upon us. Let's take a look.
Yeah, and the thing about last game too is we didn't get to see the middle part of it. Like we saw the laning phase. We actually left when TteS Sports was in a good position. Yeah. And I questioned at the very beginning, specifically Chessie on Parasite, playing Parasite as a passive jungler, not being aggressive up on the Gravekeeper, who had good farm early on, and then bought no stone ham with the Black Legion. And so not to say that was the reason why they lost, and it's not at all, but there were some, interesting item pickups. Like those were interesting item pickups on a Gravekeeper. Yeah. And then Hag had some interesting ones as well, but obviously SG came out on top.
You're right, yeah.
But TteS Sports clearly, I think that game, at least in the beginning, had a huge advantage as far as the laning phase goes. But SG able to capitalize with their aggressive, the Fade Nymphora specifically. We did see them actually a couple times use that Nymph TP right away with Fade specifically.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, ultimately, we did miss the mid portion of that game, which obviously can help determine a lot. So it's kind of hard for us to sit here and say exactly what reasons were for losing or winning or whatever. But hopefully, again, in game number 2 now, we don't have to worry about that. So the locking pool, the lock pool, we do have, or I guess the blind bands, didn't even mention that. But Tempest Parasite coming out here for TteS Sports. Then Wild Soul Keeper of the Forest from State Green. So going to take care of all those jungles coming out. Ophelia, though, is going to be the first lock from TteS Sports. Glacius Fade the Response. Pebbles Hammerstorm then coming out from Leon Black. And now Swindlemelon's going to finish things off with Moon Queen, actually. And again, that could be... Swindle did, in my mind, a very good job here as far as a response. You got the Ophelia, the first lock, but not only do you have a Glacius then thrown in there after that, but then you got a Moon Queen on top of that. So you could really just go Moon Queen, Glacius as your 2 picks out of the lock pool. If the Ophelia is first picked, and be pretty confident with that. So, yeah, strong finish there.
Or you could just first pick Glacius if you're TteS Sports.
True.
And then run some other kind of aggressive tri-lane, or just another jungler yourself, and then protect your jungler with Glacius so that Ophelia can't man up in any kind of tri-lane. So, yeah, it's very early to tell here. The band's coming out. Jeremiah Draconis, Nymphora. Don't blame Leon Black at all. I think Nymphora is, as you mentioned, we don't see him that often, and it's kind of tapered off in the scene. But like I said, if you can get him out of the laning phase, I think he's one of the most annoying heroes to deal with in the game. I really do. Teams that are really good at utilizing that ultimate just makes it so difficult to play against that with any hero. Blink hero, hero with a shrunken head, doesn't matter. It's very difficult and very unexpected at times.
Wretched Hag is going to be the first pick, and I believe that's how the first game started as well.
Yeah.
And there's the Aluna is going to be Hammer's the lock pool. I was going to say we're really following that. No, Aluna, the very first or quick reaction, I should say, from Swindlemelons. But now thinking about this next one a little bit here, so but going the Aluna option, and that is interesting, especially with what's on the board now. They could definitely still go that Glacius, especially considering they might not end up running a jungle themselves. So again, that option is definitely still there. Rally Torturer, though, going to be the response from TteS Esports. So we are going to see this rally guy once again, and see what he can bring to the table here on the competitive scene. I know a lot of teams that lately have just been really dabbling with this hero. It seems like it's kind of been a mix as far as his success, to be honest.
Yeah.
But he has potential.
Yeah, I'm still not sold on him. Like, I think he's okay. The fact that he has a free push book, essentially, is, I think, the best perk for him.
Part, yeah.
Yeah, that's really attractive. It's just a free 2,500, or about 2,100 gold. And it's very, very helpful in saving your teammates. But as far as being effective with damage output, reliable damage output, your stun is not the easiest to hit in the world. And your ultimate is certainly not the easiest to hit in the world, especially with targets like Bubbles and a Luna that can stun you or take cover. So, yeah, I'm just not 100% sold on Rally just yet, but he's still effective and can still be played, you know, very effectively. Master of Arms being picked up by SG, and I thought for a second there it might be like an Luna plus Glacius lane with carry a Luna, as I've seen SG do actually in a certain number of scrims. But with Master of Arms pickup, I'm not exactly sure now.
Yeah, probably. Again, now they're not going to go Master of Arms Electrician, that we know for sure. But Master of Arms, yeah, again, Slicks has been playing that a lot lately in more of that carry mindset. So we'll see what they ultimately go with. But now, again, it's this first pick. You see Ophelia in there. That's got to be, you know, it is going to be the pick of the end. But obviously now for SG, at least they could definitely go that Glacius and hell, they can go something like Glacius Hammerstorm here, and
yeah, or
Glacius Pebbles.
They go Glacius
Fade.
Yeah,
okay. Fade Moon Queen actually.
So that's yeah, it's probably gonna be a support Master of Arms. I'm thinking.
Huh. Okay.
With a I don't know. I feel like they could have done this like 2 dual lanes, like a dual lane mid, dual lane top with Suicide Bubbles.
Yeah.
Either way, they are gonna pick up that Moon Queen though.
See, who's going to play what, though? Is it going to be Slicks on that Moon Queen? You got Kezu right now sitting on the Moon Queen. Okay, they are going to swap it in the end, though. So Slicks is, of course, going to play the Moon Queen. And, yeah, you mentioned the support Master of Arms. Obviously, again, I'm just sitting here thinking it's going to be that carry role because it is State Green. But nope, they do go make it more of a support style. And, actually, Hammerstorm is going to be the final pick coming out here from TteS Esports. So they don't take advantage of the Glacius being in the lock pool, despite the Ophelia pickup. Again, it's not the biggest deal in the world necessarily, but just to keep that in mind. It seems like TteS Esports lineup though that they came out pretty nicely. You got a support Torturer here. Yeah. That they're going to be running. They got your Rally Tort lane most likely, Ophelia jungle, Hammerstorm. Or I guess Rally bottom, and Hammerstorm Tort mid. We'll see. We'll see what they decide. Yeah. Or it could have got aggressive pseudo actually, pseudo tri lane.
Now a similar situation is when we were casting just a little bit of TFR when Insignia was playing Parasite. I'm leaning towards TteS Esports running an aggressive tri-lane with Ophelia, but you got to be really, really careful about when and where Ophelia picks up her first creep walking into the enemy jungle, because normally the enemy team, or in this case SG on Hellborn, will have a ward placed faster than you. That's just the nature of how it works on Hellborn. They will have this ward placed up faster than you, so that they will be able to see where you are and where you're going with your own wards. So you got to be a little bit careful, but nope, it doesn't matter. It does look like they are going to be on the pseudo tri-lane bottom and play it safe with Moravis playing this Suicide Wretched Hag.
Okay, so yeah, that is going to be the Suicide Hag. Okay. Yeah, it's actually, the more I thought about it, definitely thinking that pseudo tri lane. But no, playing it safe, as you said. Look at this rally, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen this before. This is like, I'm taking it as alternate. What the hell is it even supposed to be? I don't know. Some kind of monster with a big-ass weapon. So, pretty intimidating stuff right there. Yeah, this is an intimidating alt avatar, man. I guess Rally is kind of that hero in the front lines, leading his troops to victory. Rallying his troops to victory. You can say, oh, Wretched Hag in the meantime actually in a lot of trouble right here. Shelter block coming out from KZU. Wretched Hag will end up falling. So he just simply got caught out. I caught the tail end of that. I didn't necessarily see how he kind of wandered into there and get caught, but again, you were just mentioning that with the whole jungle situation. They end up going safe with the Wretched Hag, but even he still dies actually. Yeah, and I think in general, going safe in this game with a Hammerstorm against a Moon Queen is not what you want to do, and a Fade as well. Because it means Fade is going to get levels for free, basically. And so is the Moon Queen. Moon Queen is going to get uncontested farm and levels. And against a Hammerstorm carry, I don't know if that's what you want at all. Unless TteS decides to build this in a way that I think is very effective, where you just skip the portal key, you get the Alchemist Bones, and just go straight damage with Shrunken Head. Now that can be effective, and I like that, but they're going to lose lane control. This is very bad, actually. As you see, all these creeps are in range of the tower bottom,
He's actually missed. He missed every single. Okay, he got one, but this is gonna push up. This is free experience for Bubbles. This is not good.
Yeah.
They need to stack this pole right away, or else Bubbles is gonna get so much experience.
Yeah, and you see KZU he wants to get the war to sight down. He is going to be able to before the minute mark. Obviously, not that it mattered because there was no stacking going on, but KZU gets the ward down, so no more stacking for you guys, unless you want to counter. You already mentioned how the lane control is already pretty poor from TT Esports side, so that is not going to help things. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, and obviously it goes back to what you were just saying with the way they set up these lanes. I mean, they really were going to need to have Cheese Helmet to have a very good time down here, which he very likely still will. But the fact that Bubbles may get some more experience now than you would want him to get at the very least is going to be good news for KZU. But this does leave your Rally mid against a Master of Arms Fade, and obviously Fade should have free farm here. I mean, Rally, decent, he could stay alive at least, especially with that Compel, and being a strength hero in general, but going to be boxed out pretty well by Master of Arms, as we see right here. Bubbles is taking a lot of pressure at the bottom lane by Torture, actually. KZU will have to fall back, but wow. Nearly a kill, actually, coming up from Torture. Bubbles all the way near dead, but he will health potion.
Yep.
And he'll be fine, so.
Yeah, he'll be fine. And they took care of the problem bottom. I don't know what happened. Maybe the creeps just, like, got targeted very, very quickly down, and they did a good job. Heimer did a good job of denying those creeps as fast as possible. So now he has regained lane control, which is very, very important against the Bubbles, or any suicide hero for that matter.
Yeah, so that's good to see. And actually, Bubbles shelter. Okay, I thought he sheltered there. No, he takes a stun though, and he can't port with it. Actually, chain reactions will hit. KZU is probably going to die right here as a result. Couple more auto attacks from Torture, perhaps. There's a Galvanize going to be used. There's one, maybe one more. Yes, Leon Black will get credit for the kill. And I mean, the stun came out from Hammerstorm, and it just happened to be perfect timing. KZU could not port because of that. Obviously, sets up the kill. So that'll be huge now for this Hammerstorm down here at the bottom lane.
Well, I mean, to be honest, KZU played that pretty badly. Like, there was really no reason to. I mean, he saw Hammerstorm the whole time, just walking toward him. He needed to be much safer about that. And as a result, died in a lane that you're not supposed to die in. That's their one job as a suicide. It's like, yeah, get experience, try to get maybe a couple creep kills, but of utmost importance, just do not die and feed the carry. In this case, Hammerstorm.
Wow. By the way, I don't even know if that was intended on their part, but not only did they rev right here, like literally a couple seconds ago, it was at like 250. They revved, and they actually went to kill a ward. It actually pulled these creeps right here, and it ended up stacking it at the 3-minute mark. That was perfect timing. Again, I guess I should give them the benefit of the doubt that was just well-timed and well-played on their part. So he's going to have that double stack, which he pulls right there, and total lane control. So very, very, very good timing coming out right there. Speaking of Bubbles, he's still level 1, and actually he's sitting here in the middle lane. They want to try to maybe set something on a Rally. In fact, there you go. They're going to jump Rally pretty aggressively. Ophelia is nearby, though, as well as Hag for that matter. And Bubbles actually not jumping in. I mean, Rally's just pretty beefy, man. This is a strength hero, of course, and especially, like I said earlier, with that Compel, he can save himself. So,
yeah,
not going to be a kill, and Bubbles just kind of chilling here.
Yeah, and it's for those reasons that he is actually pretty good as a solo mid hero in a metagame where we see so many dual lanes in the middle lane. Because he is a strength, tanky strength hero, and he has the free push book on himself, so it's very, very difficult to actually kill him. Similar to a hero as we saw, that doesn't see much love anymore, but Flux is a strength hero with range. Yeah. And he has a lot of HP early on, so he's actually a pretty good hero in this metagame, I feel, too. And heroes and teams don't really pick him up very often, but I would entertain the idea to run a Flux in solo mid situations.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, Flux definitely, he's a great team hero in general, too, of course. With that ultimate, with the pull-ins and everything, it's very, very effective. So, yeah, he has dabbled in the competitive scene now and then, but it has been a while since we've seen him. But Rally, yeah, Rally's level 5. I mean, his levels, again, they're doing very good here, and that's really the minimum you ask for. Yeah. In your solo mid rally. So Ophelia's kind of been quiet here in the jungle, being played by Enzo, of course. Seems like his farm isn't that bad, and if anything, having the jungle, you look at the experience advantage overall. Now 1,600 experience advantage in favor of TT Esports, so great there. Wretched Hag, though, is still level 1, but so is Bubbles. So at least in that sense, you got two suicides that are both level 1 for either side.
I was looking at actually just KZU, and I was like, oh my god, he's only level 1. This is really bad, but yeah, I didn't even see that Moravis not able to get anything at all himself up in this top lane. That's what I talked about, trading free farm on a Moon Queen for a Hammerstorm. We'll have to wait and see how effective it is for TT Esports. Hammerstorm looks like he wants to buy that Alchemist Bones, but could have had it about 200 gold before if he wanted to buy that. So I don't know what he's doing with all this gold mid lane.
Rally again, there's the compel though, and he'll be fine. Bubbles was nearby, but he actually didn't come in time for a shell surf assistance. Even with that though, I don't think that would have been a kill. So Rally able to tank that damage, what was essentially a 4-man gank in a sense, with Luna being there as well, the power throw, and he just falls back. So, you know, failed gank attempt coming out from the Hellborn team. You see actually Rally bought, or he's given a health potion from Wretched Hag actually. And he'll regen, and now he's level 6 on top of that. And you see the bottom lane, big tower push coming perhaps. Torture and Hammerstorm pushing up a little bit. You also have the Vagabond here. Ooh, might die actually, yeah. I think he actually took over another creep, so not the biggest steal in the world. But anyways, Ophelia is still in the jungle. Not going to be a tower kill by any means, but may apply some pressure here now at this bottom lane. But yeah, free farming Hammerstorm versus the Moon Queen. But Rally, he's level 6. You got to think he's also going to have a pretty good impact here now.
Yeah.
For this Legion team too.
Now, Heimer did buy the Steve boot, so he's not going to go for the Alchemist Bones, at least right now. If he wants to get them afterwards, honestly, I'm fine with that. I think people sometimes feel that if you get Alchemist Bones, you have to get it early, early, early. I don't think so. I think getting, in many situations, items that can make you still, like, you know, being able to participate in team fights early on, or at least little team skirmishes. Because if you just go straight Alchemist Bones, you're kind of useless until you get an item after that. But if you get an item before that, then you're useful, and then you get Alchemist Bones, and then you're still farming. So
yeah.
We'll have to wait and see what he does. I wouldn't put it past him at all to buy Alchemist Bones still after this point.
Yeah, it's like a safety measure, if anything, like a just in case, so if it happens to occur. But yeah, you definitely could see that, especially considering he went for last time on Gravekeeper, and it was later on. I mean, that was definitely very late Alchemist Bones on Gravekeeper last game. Rally's going to be... Gets a little bit of pressure right there. Fade, though, she had a regen rune that she just used. But, I mean, so Fade is having the much better time in farm, of course, in the middle lane. But, okay, she did just hit level 6 right there, actually. I was going to say she's 2 levels lower. But she is level 6, so at least now within 1 level ride. But, again, Rally's level 7. His farm, he's now getting up to 215 gold per minute. And you can expect that to start increasing now as the beefier he feels. I mean, he has a bottle. He has 1,100 gold saved up. And then there's Enzo continues to be fairly quiet here. Again, I wonder about that a little bit. Would you like to see Ophelia maybe group up and push this bottom lane, or are you fine with him not pushing it yet?
Yeah, I think he should be applying pressure, to be honest. And I don't think he's really got the best creeps. He has 2 Skeleton Kings right now, which are actually very, very good for ganking, specifically like a Bubbles. By the way, this triple stack in the Ancients has been, you know, Master of Arms and Bubbles have been going at this for quite some time. It's going really, really slowly, but they're eventually getting it with the goo coming out from Master of Arms and then the spam from Bubbles. So if Bubbles is able to get all these last hits, that would be very, very good for him. But nonetheless, they're going to get share this experience.
That is kind of funny. They're really gimped heroes on the scene doing these stacked Ancients. But sure enough, they are going to clean it up. Now the bottom tower, so as I say that, within 30 seconds, they are grouping up here. So the double Skeleton King, not necessarily the most aggressive tower pushing hero or minions, but still, they push the tower fairly easily. And they'll be happy with that. Another 2,100 gold just like that already saved up on Hammerstorm. I mean, he is farming very well, 430 gold per minute, but guess what? So is Moon Queen, nearing 400 gold per minute herself. She is actually going to start pressuring this top tower perhaps. Portal key is going to be picked up on G's helmet. This goes back to, though, if you're going to get a portal key, you better use it. They are going to port it to the top lane. So we'll see. This is actually a good chance. They ported the secondary tower. It's a level 3 haggle and level 4 torture. But here we go. They're going to jump in. They can lock down Moon Queen. Is going to be enough for the kill. The chain reactions will actually connect. Moon Queen to go around attack. She's going to activate the Moonbeam right there. One more. Oh, what a deny from Chessie coming out right there. Very good timing by Chessie on that Aluna. So Moon Queen is still dead. But, wow, that saved out on a lot of golden experience, or gold, I guess, right there.
Yeah, it did. Great job by Chessie. It was very, very close, actually. And I cannot believe, as you were probably alluding to it as within your reaction, but I can't believe that chain reaction stuff hit. Like, it looked like it wasn't even close.
I thought it missed.
But, yeah, the tip end
Boom!
of it.
Sorry. I love the seismic slam. I love how it sets up.
Oh, I know.
It's one of those abilities that you're like, yeah, boy, especially when it connects.
That's what he should say then when he uses it.
The yeah, boy?
Yeah.
next time. Oh. Anyways, they did combo right there, but yeah, Rally is in some trouble. Can't compel just yet. Gonna try to steal life. Ophelia Hill coming out. The Moon Finale just out of range. Power throw connects, but it's not enough for the kill. So SG missing out on some opportunities there. Even the Moon Finale used and not able to get it.
Yeah, that was a pretty silly ult by Slicks. He didn't have any kind of extra movement speed buffs. Like, he didn't have, like, Ghost Marchers or Energize or anything like that. And there was a creep wave right next to you, so his better option would have been to just keep running and try to get an extra Moonbeam. Also, good heal from Enzo, securing safety there for Jeppins playing, oh, actually, the top lane. Moravis gets taken out by Swindlemelons, who does use that ultimate on Fade.
Yeah.
And the assistance from Chessie.
Yeah, so again, getting ganked to the top lane. Obviously, Moravius has just had a very difficult time here, and now the TteS. So hopefully, for his sake, he can start calming things down. You know, Bubbles has definitely recovered. KZU obviously doing those stacked Ancients helped. Smart decision on their part. Whispering Helm finished on Moon Queen, but again, the portal key choice on Hammerstorm. It did result in a kill right away. Granted, it was denied, but at least he made use of it right away, so that was good to see. But his GPM, it's definitely dropped quite a bit since he did go that, to be fair. He is not going Hammerstorm.
Okay.
He is not going the Mighty Swing build, by the way. It seems like we've been seeing that a lot lately on these Hammerstorms. But he is not going to be going to here.
I mean, I don't really like it, honestly. Oh, I like his build is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Especially when you go for a very, very early portal key. It looks like the rest of his points have been in the stats. Yeah, because he's level 8 in this. So, and that's fine because when you have a portal key, obviously you're using lots of mana between the blink, the stun, your galvanize, your ultimate, and your strength here. You don't have that big of a mana pool, so having the extra stats I think is very, very helpful. There's no reason to have Mighty Swing this early on, and I always cringe just a little bit when I do see players do that.
So 5-man push, and look at the tower just melt away. You do have Master of Arms nearby. No ports are going to come in, though it doesn't look like. At least Goose put down, just kind of harass a little bit. Master of Arms is going to go for a deny. No, he's not. And G's Helmet will actually get credit for the tower kill. So his GPM does jump up quite a bit after that. Again, the 1,000 gold saved up. So, but again, I keep going back to this rally, man. I mean, look at Jebba's on rally. He's level 9, and he's farming 286 gold per minute. This was your 1 versus 2 mid that got ganked, attempted several times. He stayed alive because he's rally, and he has a compel, the free tablet. And this is definitely a game where it seems like Rally proved to be actually a pretty effective pick, honestly.
Yeah. I think it's two things. I think it's one, as you mentioned, Rally. He's a strength hero. He has the free push book. It's hard to kill him. Two, I don't think Master of Arms is honestly that good as a support in mid in a dual lane. I just feel like, okay, you stun with Fade, and then he comes up and his stun's pretty crappy. It has like long range. It's kind of slow. The cast animation's kind of slow. It doesn't do that much damage. It doesn't stun for very long. At level 4, it doesn't even stun for 2 seconds. It's 1.8. It scales by 0.2 and starts at 1.2. So, I don't know. I just feel like Master of Arms in the dual lane mid setting is just not very strong. But also, on top of that, like I mentioned, it's very, very difficult to kill a Rally.
Yep. Yeah. Master of Arms does bring decent synergy with a hero like Moon Queen, you know, with the Offensive Master's Call and Master's Call in general and the goo and whatnot. But yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from as far as his presence, especially in the laning phase. They are, once again, I just love this, and SG is taking advantage of the fact that, you know, they're stacking these Ancients, but they're not waiting for Moon Queen to do them. I mean, they're experiencing some gold farm on heroes like Bubbles and Master of Arms and Aluna in the meantime. So it's kind of an interesting, we don't see this a whole lot usually, but SG just taking advantage of it and doing it pretty well. I mean, it no doubt is helping, especially KZU is the one that's helping big time. I mean, KZU was level 1 for the longest time, and you compare him with Wretched Hag now. He's a level higher, and he's farming more than 50 gold per minute. So, it's pretty good there. Moon Queen is level 11 now. Slicks with his under 100 MS is farming nearly 400 gold per minute. It is a US West server, by the way. I was actually curious about that. TT Esports is a US West team. State Green, I believe they're labeled as a US East team now, of course. So it's, you know, going to bounce back in the series. But, so Chessy, it's a little bit higher for him, but not the biggest in the world.
Right.
He's definitely played US West before. Double damage rune on Rally. It is going to be used right here no matter what because it's going to wear off, so there you go. And good timing because they're going to push this top tower. And meanwhile, at the bottom line, portal key from Hammerstorm. He saw Fade coming in. I believe she used her invis pretty late right there, actually. And that allowed him to see it coming in. Portal key's away, and top tower goes down. So good push from TT Esports.
Here comes the mid response. Hammerstorm is right there as well as the TP's behind. Can they get the deny? Yes, they can. Jeffenskill gets the deny. Hammerstorm rushing in onto a Luna, but it's not going to find anyone else any more assistance. But they do get the deny and the tower kill up top, and Heimer prevented his death bottom. So good exchange there for TT Esports.
Yeah. Again, I do find it interesting. You know, the point we brought up going to the first game was the roles. What roles were we going to see here from TT Esports?
Yeah.
In a sense, I guess we've seen Heimer kind of step up and play carry both games. I mean, he was kind of did it with the Gravekeeper last game, and this game he's definitely doing it with the Hammerstorm here. You got players like Enzo, Moravis, who also have that carry experience themselves. I mean, it's just, it really is interesting to see how this is playing out. And I kind of wonder more so if this is like, if that's what they've decided on Heimer to be that carry role no matter what now, or maybe it'll be whatever hero comes up. But
yeah, and yeah, I'm not too sure, but I feel like it's still the quote-unquote carry role this game is going to eventually be the Wretched Hag if Moravis can find that farm somehow. In fact, Moravis last game played the Hammerstorm.
Sure.
And Jeppins played the Suicide, I believe. Yeah, because he was Plague Rider. So they're just kind of bouncing around just a little bit, I feel. But, yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I think Enzo is going to be playing the jungler, though, for the time being.
Rally just got a lot of gold. He farmed up the triple stack.
Wow.
He even used a seismic slam right there.
Look
to
at his
assist.
farm.
I know. It's 344. This is your 1 versus 2 mid. Again, this is a hero. He seems like we've had mixed results with him since he's been picked up on the competitive scene, but this is one of the few games that I've seen where he's actually having a very good impact for the team.
Yeah.
Very effective one. So great for TteS Esports. He actually finishes the Helm of the Black Legion. He picks up a Mystic Vestments. He is becoming a beefy target. I feel like Hammerstorm has to have something else. Okay, he just bought a Mighty Blade. What else is on the courier?
He had to have.
It's just a Mighty Blade being delivered.
He had to have, though, because I saw him with 1,000 gold a long time ago.
He didn't buy it back or anything, though.
This is really funny because it's like TteS Esports, you know, farming the lanes and defending towers and everything, and then I literally just see SGS 4 members constantly sitting at Ancients. Like,
yeah,
they're only farming these Ancients, so if you're TteS Esports, you might want to think about actually warding those.
Blocking those, or at least paying attention to that. In fact, here we go right now. They are going to check it out here. They kind of suspect something's up, but...
He had to have bought something, man.
I know. I feel that way too, but nothing was delivered other than the Mighty Blade, and... Huh. Feels like, I mean, he's farming 425 gold per minute. It feels like that's more than a Mighty Blade PK Steam Boots.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of all that farm, Moonqueen has now stepped as the top farm of the game, and look at that. Steam Boots, Whispering Helm, Firebrand has been purchased. So Slick's off to a tremendous start there. Bottom push, though, coming out from our Legion team. Rally is level 11 as well. That's a big thing to note. And he's actually coming over with an Invis rune. So this could be deadly here for Stay Green if they're not careful. Do you even defend the tower is the question. Look at Fade from behind. He's level 10. Currently Invis. Will he look to go in? And vulnerability is going to come out. Moonqueen, will she port in any second? Oh, Rally from behind. He's setting up with the flag. Master of Arms going to be jumped right there. Here comes Rally. Will he open any second? Maybe Compel. There's a Compel. There's the seismic sound. Boom goes a Dynamite. The Bat Blast on top of that. Wretched Hag or Master of Arms going to fall right there. I believe there was a buyback that happened. The Legion team is falling back. Yes, Keizu did buy back. He jumps back in. He shell surfs immediately backwards, though, as he gets the hell on out of there. The tower will fall. Torture going to go down in the front lines. There's a Rally coming out with the jump right there on the Compel. Trying to help finish out Moonqueen. Demoralizing Roar going to be used. Where's the follow-up? Wretched Hag jumping in. A couple more auto attacks. One more. Yes, gets the kill to Moonqueen. And now Moravis falling back. Only Torture dead right now in the Legion team. Rally going to be locked down again. He's pretty tanky. Going to Compel forward, though. Missing the stun, but will it be enough to survive? It looks like it will be for now, actually, as he has Galvanized support as well. Wretched Hag thinking about going back in, but enough is enough. So it's safe to say TteS Esports dominates that fight here at the bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, they played that really well. Seismic Slam actually wasn't even used that entire time, though.
Yeah, it was. Oh, really?
No, I never used it.
He must have canceled it at the last second.
Yeah,
he was in animation for sure.
Yeah, he didn't have an opportunity. As it's like, again, it's a very difficult spell to use against mini stuns and take covers and people moving around and all that jazz. So it's very hard to use. So until you get something like a blink or someone else to set up a stun for you right in front of your face, it's very difficult. But nonetheless, still did work in that team fight.
Yeah, no, I'm very shocked by that because I thought for sure that was casted because he no doubt was in animation, but I guess like you said, whether he got stunned or maybe just canceled it himself. There was a Bat Blast also that came out on top of it. So, but hey, the fact that they won that fight and without an ability like that even going out, it's pretty damn cool. For TteS Esports, of course. So
yeah, and Moravis is actually having a big impact in these team fights, despite him being so gimped early on. And there is a blink on Bubbles, though. So those Ancients constantly being killed and stacked and whatnot and killed by the SG lineup is certainly paying off because he hasn't really blinked, despite him being level 1 for like the first 7 minutes.
Yeah. If Hammerstorm doesn't have a Shrunken Head here in 5 gold, I am going to be baffled because it continues to seem like he has to have something. Where is this money going? I remember we did have that one, but I forget who it was, but that player that accidentally sold his Hellflower, I believe it was.
Oh, yeah.
A couple days, or like, I think that was last weekend, or maybe on Friday it was, but
who was that?
I think he had a moment like that. Who could we call out on that? Who was it? I forget. I want to say it was in the Sound Blaster finals this week, but I honestly forget who exactly it was. Anyways, bottom lane. Ooh, Leon Black getting picked off down here on Torturer. He was trying to get some alone time down here, but Fade crashed the party.
Yep.
And he gets taken out. So good gank from Stay Green.
He does have the Warhammer, so he's got a completed Shrunken right now.
Okay. Okay, that makes a little more sense now. So he's going to have that delivered. Has your core on him as far as the role that he's going, at least. You know, the Steam Boots, Shrunken Head, Portal Key. Going to be a strong initiation target and difficult to deal with for sure.
Bottom lane is going to push. Here comes a TP support. And it is going to be that Rally. Rally does have a PK of his own. Oh, he's trying to find Bubbles. Oh, he's not going to find him, and he can't really guess. But in the meantime, okay, good thing that Moravis ported there to get the deny now for the tower. They didn't get complacent, so yeah. I think that's fine. I think it's so great to see teams do that. And, you know, it's it's much easier to be like, we're not ready. Just let the tower fall. It's much easier to be in that mindset, but staying active and staying positive and making things happen by TPing, defending towers when you're up. I really think that's the note of a strong team, is defending towers and trying to fight when you're up. Yeah.
Well played by TteS Esports right there. And again, they remain overall in a team lead, 3,500 gold, 2,800 experience. But this is going to be some triple stack Ancients. Moon Queen, for the most part, taking the farm. But again, as a team, they're really doing them. They continue to do this. If anything, leeching experience right there. But Shrunken Head has now been finished on Moon Queen as well. So as impressive as Hammerstorm continues to be, Moon Queen keeps on going up and up. And she is now at 485 gold per minute. Now, Fade did go invis. She ran right over a Revelation, though. So I wonder if TteS Esports spotted that. Now, she does have a Portal Key, as you can see, as well as being level 11. Doesn't look like she's going to find anyone, however. And TteS Esports instead will group up. Soulsborg, by the way, picked up on Enzo playing this Ophelia. Obviously going to be another great item for them that they have. On top of that, with the Astrolabe and the Plated Greaves. Being your usual team support here is Ophelia and doing it pretty well.
Fade wasn't able to open with the ultimate, couldn't find anybody, as really all the members of TteS Esports are kind of grouped up here. Jetman's making his way up there. He has another double damage actually popped up for 30 seconds. But yeah, the biggest thing right now is Moon Queen. She has her Shrunken Head completed. She's also 3 levels higher than anyone in the game.
They want to jump Moon Queen so badly. They just placed this ward aside here. I could tell they really wanted to jump her, but now she's positioning in a worse spot. Will they still go in? Hammerstorm, yes, he's going to go in. A great stun right there. Rally with the follow-up with a great compel on top of that. The Bat Blast to follow. 2 players are down just like that. Now Moon Queen is going to ultimate with Shrunken Head, but she's realizing quickly she might need to start falling back. Fade's going to be picked up right there. The brute strength Hammerstorm, just so much damage. Moon Queen, Shrunken Head will be wearing off any second right now. She to the right with the Moonbeam, but Slicks is going to fall. Nothing more that she could do. Master of Arms trying to join the party, help at least get a kill, but puts the goo down. Not going to stand on it, though. And well played by TteS Esports again. You can see that coming for a little bit right there. That's great ward to side place by Leon Black. Gave them plenty of vision. And on top of that, they're also going to push this tower. Maybe even go for Conqueror. I mean, pressure the base. We'll see.
That's what you call manning up right there. That was a lot of fun to watch. And also great heals at the very end coming out from Enzo, saving his team and securing safety. And just so much damage coming out. And again, these Bat Blasts are connecting with 2-3 heroes. And this is a wretched hag that, I mean, you have great initiation, of course, from Heimer, and then Jeppins to follow up there with his stun. Still hasn't able to use his ultimate. Like I'm telling you, that's the one thing with this hero is, and he's not able. He doesn't really need it, clearly, because they're still winning these fights. But it's a little awkward using it at times. But doesn't need it. They have good initiation without it. They know that Fade's kind of around here. They placed another Ward of Revelation. But they're going to back together as a team. They really should. Oh, I was going to say they should get a bound die, but they have one already on She's helmet.
Oh, okay. Well, he sees him right there. He's going to actually pick up this invis. So not going to go for a kill by any means. Really couldn't. And instead, we'll just run away with the invis. So a good little ninja there by Cheese Helmet. But you just talked about the bound eye picked up on him. So of course they can now see Fade, especially, as well as the good old counter warding. And he actually picked up the illusion rune too. That happened to spawn. They're going to check out the Ancients. Obviously nothing going on, though. But again, TteS Esports, especially after that fight, feeling pretty good, I'm sure. But you do got to keep in mind, you are dealing against a Moon Queen who is level 16, and she is continuing to get very good farm, despite those kills happening there. Yeah, 470 gold per minute now for Slicks. I mean, he just knows how to farm time and time again. At this rate, again, you got to remember what time we're at. We're only 24.5 minutes, and she's on her way to finishing a Geometer's Bane now. Already with the Shrunken Head, Whispering Helm, and Steam Boots. So she is still continuing to be a very, very dangerous issue here.
Yeah, she's got a lot of farm. She has a lot of levels, but at the cost of the rest of her supports and teams kind of being, to be honest, pretty gimped. Like Fade's got okay farm, has a blink, but really nothing else after that. Blink on Bubbles, or then nothing on a Luna and MOA. I mean, they have some build-up items, but they're actually really lacking in levels. Look at 7 and 8, and you have to compare that to basically Leon Black and Enzo at 10 and 13. So they are not doing good in experience.
Yeah. Struggling right there. Moon Queen is going to continue to clear out some Ancients here, so as you kind of put it, it's really Moon Queen in the sense she's that's good. In a sense, she's just taken all the farm here, but you know, kind of going all in, and obviously that's what Moon Queen can do. So Elder Parasite just purchased by Cheese Helmet, so they got that threat now. He's able to do even more damage here. Already doing plenty. A Shaman's Headdress finished on Rally. Perhaps a Barrier Idol going to be coming up for him. Also a Shaman's Headdress on Ophelia, though.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to mention, too. Yeah. So maybe miscommunication, because normally you don't want to complete one. Yeah. But if someone else is going for that Barrier. But it's still fine. I mean, there's lots of magic damage coming out from the team.
Yeah, it's not like a Shaman's Headdress in the end. I mean, that's bad by any means. So,
right.
Conqueror being attempted here, and there is vision. Z-Freak does have a Ward of Sight pretty much right next to the Conqueror Pit, so of course Stay Green very aware. Is going to be fast on Elder Parasite. Brute Strength activated by Hammerstorm there, just going for a quick Conqueror kill. It's going to be close though. Will Stay Green jump in? Here we go, Shell Surf, everything important. No, they're not. Down goes Conqueror, Token of Life picked up by Cheese Helmet. And now the Helper team gonna try to run away. Aluna nearly getting picked off. Skeleton King locking down Hammerstorm. He is fairly low on life. Again, he has that Token of Life. No, Moon Queen, the Seismic Slam gonna be used right there. Master's Call gonna be used though from Master Frost, trying to keep him alive. Moon Queen, Moon Finale going out, putting in the damage on the rally. Hammerstorm will fall right there. Again, Token of Life gonna bring him right back up though. And Moon Queen needs to be careful. The defensive Master Call is still on him. Master Farms pushed up a little bit too far. He'll end up getting picked off. And now Aluna's in some trouble. Elder Parasite, there's that Bat Blast connecting. And down goes Aluna. The Bat Blast could have probably been better aim though to hit Moon Queen too. And actually she will finish off Hammerstorm. Bound Eye going to be picked up, and now Wretched Hag going to be forced to blink away. So actually, Stay Green comes back very strong there. Burning Shadows and Cole connecting on the Wretched Hag. There's the silence, and Hag will fall in the end. So 4 players end up dying for TteS Esports. Stay Green definitely winning that exchange there.
That was a pretty terrible decision to blink in there and fight. You had the Shrunken Head already used. A good 4 or 5 seconds was taken off of it from Hammerstorm. He blinked in. He had like no HP in life when he first initiated, and then got caught right away by the Skeleton King from someone that was at the Moon Queen that had dominated one, I'm assuming, but got caught right there. It was just a silly decision. The rest of your team wasn't exactly ready to follow up, and that was a huge fight for Stay Green. I mean, you just lost a fight with the token and already being up 9K golden experience. That is not good.
Yeah, that was big indeed. I mean, we definitely got to see the Seismic Slam used that time, and it did connect onto Moon Queen. But again, the great defensive Master's Call came out shortly after. Some excellent team support, as you would expect. And Moon Queen getting that Moon Finale off, turning around. She is farmed. Again, that's really continues to be a scary thing for Stay Green, despite TteS Esports picking up some momentum and looking good there for a little bit. But despite them, so they have still leads, 5,000 overall gold lead, 3,000 experience. But again, Moon Queen proving that if she's able to get her abilities off and whatnot, you got to be careful if you're the Legion side. So I think the biggest thing you noted, though, the no Shrunken Head on Hammerstorm, it's obviously a big deal. So you can definitely question the initiation in the first place from TteS Esports. Fade is going to try to find somebody once again. I believe that's the Bound Die that Hammerstorm ended up dropping that she actually now has. So Fade, of course, very valuable to have that. May try to jump Wretched Hag if he continues. Nope. Wretched Hag going to fall back. Wretched Hag is getting close to finishing a Hellflower, by the way. So Moravis, again, continuing despite that struggle early on, is definitely having a good impact here for TteS Esports. And no doubt a Hellflower will obviously be very useful for our Legion team.
Yeah, it's going to be very good. And the biggest thing, too, for Fade having this Bound Eye is he's going to be able to clean out all the wards and get rid of all the vision for TteS Esports. And that's not something you want. You need vision of Moon Queen and the rest of the team so you can appropriately, set up some ganks. And if you can't, well, Moon Queen's just going to keep out farming you. And she's already done that at 540 gold per minute. Next highest is Cheese Helmet still for 400, but that's 150 gold per minute more on your Moon Queen. So, yeah, they still need to make a move. They still need to do something.
Yep.
5 levels higher is slick than
I know.
Anyone.
It's, again, this is your true definition of hard carry right here. Literally carrying Stay Green right now. And that's not to say, I do always want to be careful saying that. It's not to say that like everyone's playing bad on this team other than him by any means, but just the hero on the role that he's in, it's just how it's working out. He definitely is that hard carry role. There has been great support, though, and it will continue to be good, I'm sure. And we'll get an idea of it right here, perhaps. Fade can open there with the Burning Shadows onto Ophelia. Actually, the follower from Bubbles. Here we go. Moon Finale going to be activated. The Shrunken Heads are going to be up, though. Moon Queen realizing she needs to start moving around. Going to put in some auto attacks. Torture being locked down by the Skeleton King. Going to be stopped by the Minotaur, actually. And again, the auto attack still coming out for Moon Queen. Still no deaths other than Master of Arms, actually. But Aluna's going to end up falling. Bubbles in the background. Trying to still make something happen, perhaps. Torture does go down, so 2-for-1 exchange right now. Bubbles going to shell surf away, though, and he'll portal key, and that's how that will end. So a lot of chaos as always going on in this team fights. But TteS Esports, they hold strong. They only lose the 1-2, and they are now going to push the stop tower And also, Hellfire will be finished here on Wretched Hag, so good fight for them right there.
I mean, they still didn't use some big abilities like Bat Blast, nor the Seismic Slam was used. But Ophelia really turned that around. It could have been much worse for them, but the double heal coming out again with her Ophelia's touch. And then now has a Barrier Idol, and then the Astrolabe on top of that was able to save a lot of his team. So good job by Enso. You do have the Barrier Idol up onto him. But, yeah, I mean, TD Esports, they're still thriving. They're still doing good in these team fights. It was just that one bad team fight, some sloppy initiation, just a little bit of miscommunication that ultimately led to a one-team fight earlier on for State Green. But TD Esports are showing that they're a force to be reckoned with right now. Yeah.
I'm sitting here trying to think what I would like to see on a rally. I'm sitting here and thinking, especially with the Stirred ability, the battle experience, it honestly seems like something like a Shield Breaker could be pretty solid on rally at this point, as far as helping his individual damage output. I mean, do you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, Rally doesn't seem like a hero that would want to do many auto attacks, though. I think it's like run around in a team fight, cast your Compel, cast your Slow, the Demoralizing Roar, maybe get your Seismic Slam, maybe an auto attack or two, then run around and wait for the cooldowns to reset. So if you're running around waiting for the cooldown to reset, because that's the important thing in my opinion, then I don't really want to do anything to boost my auto attack damage. I would boost like things for team fights. So maybe honestly an Abyssal Skull or Soul's Bulwark.
Yeah.
They already have actually a Soul's Bulwark.
Abyssal Skull, actually. That's something I think actually would be very useful for them. And that's actually something I was thinking the Soul's Bulwark, but then I was like, Ophelia got it, and I was like, maybe they should have let Rally get that. But then then you have actually a Hammerstorm. Him with a Souls into Demonic is also very helpful, of course.
I think it's really good on Hammerstorm actually.
Yeah.
But
he actually picks up a broadsword.
Gonna go for crit, I think.
Yeah,
it's perfect on him, by the way.
Oh yeah, love that brute strength Rift Shards. And he's getting close to level 16 with that said, as is Rally for them, as is Ophelia. Hell, 3 heroes at level 15 here on the Legion side. So the Hellborn team, it continues to be that Moon Queen. Now Fade has continued to actually have a pretty good presence too. Of course, being played by Swinnamelons here. Got that earlier on Portal Key and continuing to use that Bound Eye. Going to bottle up a double damage rune here actually. We'll Portal Key away with it to safety. So, by the way, these minions that Slicks has been, again, I want to say it's Z-Free controlling them. I know we've touched on that before, how he shares the unit control. But again, whoever has been, I mean, they've actually been doing stuff in these team fights. I keep thinking that the Hellborn team has Ophelia because of it. So, taking advantage of the Whispering Helm in that sense. It seems like we don't see that enough, honestly. Seems like we see the Whispering Helm picked up, they get one creep, and they stack the Ancients with it, maybe.
Yeah.
But Slicks loves to actually use them. By the way, he just picked up a Axe of the Malphite.
Yeah.
So Symbol of Rage.
You can use his creeps in fights, or you can also use them during fights to like counter push. To like push a lane. So if the fight's stalling, people aren't doing anything, well at least you're pushing a lane and putting pressure onto you know, another part of the map. So or you're just farming like creep camps with them, which I've seen. Actually, Yoda, if you remember a long time ago, he played Moon Queen, and he actually loved Moon Queen. He was one of the, and he came back. That. He comes back and pokes fun, and he's like, I see people are finally picking up this imbalanced hero.
Back then, I don't think she had the 1 second stun though. On,
no, she did
Moonbeam. So I think it's safe to say that's a big thing that really got people looking at her again.
It did, just because of the nature of the metagame right now. To be fair, is more passive and more kind of safe metagame, and so it opened it up for heroes that weren't exactly the strongest, like tri-lane heroes, and we had a lot more jungling going on. So
Fade wants to open, but there are 3 heroes here, including that Rift Shards Hammerstorm. So it's currently level 1 Rift Shards, but of course you expect that to start leveling up here, and once it especially gets to level 3, again, he can really hit hard with the brute strength activated, really. So keeping that in mind. I've been waiting to see him crit, actually. I'm curious what he's going to be critting for right now. Still yet to crit, though, since I've been watching it. For sure it's not doing too much for him.
His damage actually right now isn't that high, to be honest. Only 189. But, yeah, once he casts that ultimate, it's going to be pretty
obviously, and then the other Parasite on top of that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those deceptive, I'm doing a damage builds. So it may not look like it initially, but cooldown's used, all of a sudden he's hitting you for 500 damage every second. So... and again, perhaps even most importantly, level 16 is actually hitting all on Rally, Ophelia, and Hammerstorm. So then you got level 14 Hag, so Hag is trying to get that level 3 ultimate herself. And then Torture, being a support Torture here, Leon Black's farm is pretty respectable. Got some solid items on him. Steam Boots, Power Supply, Bottle, and is that his own bottle? No, it's not his bottle, but Bracer and Mystic Vestments, so some good build up here.
Rally looks like he might be going for a sheep stick.
Yeah.
And I love that pickup. It's actually perfect. And in this instance, I think it's much better than a Hellflower. Because I think they, by all means, have all the damage in the world to take out any one of these heroes instantly. They just need to lock them down. So with that being said, I think the sheep stick is just a little bit better than Hellflower in this game right now.
So, again, the Blessed Orb still needs the Acolyte Staff. And then the Mana Tube on top of that. But once he gets that, definitely will be useful. But looking back at Moon Queen, level 21 now. Again, she's got her big items here. She still has room for another slot. Well, whether it's going to be that Genjiro maybe or the Wing Bow. Seems to be a next in line round. Again, with the fact that we're only 36 minutes in, you really have to keep looking at that too. But Rift Shard's level 3 now. No, still level 2 actually. For Hammerstorm, but clearly in a point of this game where both teams feeling it necessary to continue to farm here. As Bubbles is up top, but wouldn't dare initiate by himself against that rally. And I just saw actually a Hungry Spirit purchased by Ophelia, so she's going to be the one going the Abyssal Skull. Still in the end, though, it's going to be a great pickup for this Legion team.
Oh, especially Hammerstorm, giving him some extra damage.
Yep. So that'll be good.
He's up to a Rift Shards 3 now, I believe, as it's being delivered on the career. And then the Abyssal Skull is completed, so I'm curious to see what his damage is going to be once he's around that Ophelia.
Yeah, again, once everything's used, he's 199 right now max. So it gets near Ophelia, and then again, when he activates the Brute Strength on top of that, it's big, man.
Yep.
Lots of damage.
Now, I don't know if he's doing this on purpose or if he's going to maybe switch it later, but his team boots are on agility right now, and I know that people do this sometimes just so you can get... Okay, he's switching it back, but I've seen people do this on heroes like him or Pebbles because they realize in the late stages of the game it's better to have attack speed because he can propagate with a crit, and he's already hitting for so hard anyway, he'd rather have the extra attack speed than 10 damage. And I've seen a lot of players do that, so I'll have to wait and see if he does that during team fights.
Yeah, interesting. Again, like you said, he has strength now, maybe in case he gets jumped. But
right,
going to pick up a Homecoming Stone right there, and actually now fall back to what looks like the top lane, as there is a push coming in. Bubbles is up here, but he will be falling back. So, level 4 Rift Shards are being delivered to G's Helmet. So he has those now. You got another 2,100 gold on Rally. Again, you're thinking like he is going to be going for that sheep stick, so still needs a little bit more before he finishes that. But I got to feel, I mean, that's going to be really the final item here for our Legion team. I guess maybe the Shrunken Head on Wretched Hag will also be important. But once you have the sheep stick and the Shrunken Head, then if I'm TT Esports, I think it's time to make something happen here as far as maybe breaking into the base, because, you know, longer you do wait, the more and more Moon Queen's going to be building up. And she is, at this rate, she's going to have her next big item, honestly, going into the next fight if this keeps up. So it's just another big item you're going to have to deal with at this time. Bubbles is the only one to use a buyback so far, by the way.
Yep.
Obviously important to look at that in games like this.
Very passive game so far, and you know, normally I'd be really scared because of, you know, you're playing up against a Moon Queen who is now level 22, and you're in that 600 GPM, but they're actually... The golden experience is actually climbing just a little bit for TT Esports instead of SG. So it really is one of those cases. It's like a one-man show for SG.
It is.
He's got the top hero damage, top farm, top EXP per minute, top everything, and it really does taper off after Moon Queen.
Yep. Fade does finish a Shrunken Head, so that'll give her some presence there in those fights after she does initiate.
Right.
And not just die right off the bat, so that'll be good. Keep her mobility up and get some cooldowns reset on the Cold and the Burning Shadows. Trying to find somebody at the bottom lane, but again, you look at the minimap, unless they maybe find Hager Ophelia over here, which could be possible. Fade is still going. It's only the level 2 ultimate still, but it has 10 more seconds on it. Going to look to go middle, actually. Are we going to see some initiation? May she go on a Wretched Hag right here? There's the open on a Wretched Hag. Moon Queen joining the party with the Moonbeam. Rally coming. Going to compel Wretched Hag over the ledge, though. And we'll save him. Hammerstorm now joining the party. Moon Finale going to go off, but the Shrunken Heads are up. The Hammerstorm stood in the background on a Master Bomb. Down goes Fade. Right there. Look at that damage from Cheese Helmet. It is pretty damn ridiculous. You realize, though, the Shrunken Head wearing off will fall back. Shellsurf connects, though. Killfit as well. Trying to finish him off. But Ophelia heal at the last second, keep him alive. And now Bubble's trying to run away. Another compel from Rally, pushing him over the edge. Going to be fine. Look at the teamwork. Ophelia will finally fall, though, as those glaives are doing a lot of damage from Moon Queen, of course. But in the end, another just one-for-one exchange. So we're having these big battles, but few heroes are dying.
Yeah, good poured out from Ophelia. That could have been very scary, but he did pour it out Cheese Helmet and then died as a result. So Good job by Enso, and that was really, really funny because Bubbles poured it in there. He knew that that Heimer was very, very low. Literally, she's turned around, bam, 1,000 crit to the face, almost one-shot Bubbles from full to nothing. It's really, really funny. But yeah, again, a 1-for-1 exchange.
Oh, Hammerstrom has a double damage room bottled up, by the way.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No ultimate just yet, but.
Look at those crits. 839. And it's just, again, it's the speed, too, that's ridiculous. Now, he doesn't have Elder Parasite up, of course. But I don't know, though. I mean, we do have Bubbles coming up. He's going to Shell Surf fully pour. Yeah, that would be a little too early. He does have Brute Strength in 5 seconds. He also has the Shrunken Head, but the Hellborn team quickly making their way over. Oh, God. Ophelia's up in 10 seconds, but she won't even have the heal. Conqueror's going to fall, but here we go. Bubbles up, and who's going to get the token of life right here? They're spam clicking it. Who got it? I believe Wretched did get it, but the Hellborn team, they are full force. Look at Moon Queen. She is charging in right now. She still has her symbol of rage. Wretched barely blinks away in time. No, she did die in the end. Everyone dies. Ophelia, the only one up, as she just got up. Very, very risky decision there by TteS Esports, and it does not pay off.
I mean, and a vote to concede.
Really?
A vote to concede. GG
they
well
only
played.
have one buyback from Rally, I guess.
Just like that. And honestly, oh my God.
I don't know. I feel like, really? I mean, their base still hasn't been touched yet. Yeah, they would probably lose at least 1 Rax here, but...
Well, no, I think they would have lost 2,
I
to be
don't
honest.
But you're down 1. I think they should have stayed there. I think that is a little early.
It is a little early, I feel. And
yeah.
I think they still had some more fight in them. But it's really sad to see one just terrible I can't talk. Terrible decision just turn the game around instantly and then boop, game
That's
over.
That's it.
It was just like we were waiting for it to happen almost, you know? And when the situations you were in, it's either crap. We basically, you know, hurt Kongor very much for them. They're going to take the token of life. Okay, whatever. We're going to have to back up. Or you're going to have to go man mode and initiate onto them and man up and get the jump onto them. And they just sat there and waited for the inevitable. And Moon King came in right there. They were all clumped up. And it was just a huge ultimate. Glaives were bouncing around like crazy.
Yeah.
And TteS Sports fell.
Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly still just a little shocked there. For one, again, just how quickly a game can end like that. But I still feel, really, TteS Sports should have honestly stayed in there a little bit. I understand frustration, but at least give it one more go. I mean, as a team, you still had the overall the better team as far as the farm and everything. Sure, the Moon Queen was farmed out of her mind, but if you did get a pick on her, I mean, anything could have happened. So, in the end, though, it is their decision, and they do choose to concede. So, SG does win the series 2 games to nothing, and that means SG is staying alive here in cycle number 5. In the Diamond Division, whereas TteS Esports, their road for this cycle at least will end here. So again, got an idea of this new roster and everything for TteS Esports. They stay in Diamond ultimately, which is good, of course. But gonna end early. Granted, again, I doubt they were expecting to face State Green here this early in the losers bracket. So
yeah,
having some crazy things going on, Trout. But that's gonna do it for our first series. Any final words here before we wrap that up?
Well, well played by SG. They will meet Complexity now, as they're waiting after taking out, who was it? TFR, 2 games to nothing in relatively fast fashion. So Complexity versus Stay Green here in the losers bracket. Obviously, we won't cast that. We'll be casting OTP versus Lions in the winner semis, and that should be a lot of fun.
I know a lot of people are going to look at that and be like, what? You're not casting Complexity versus Stay Green? Okay, here's 2 things. One thing, let's be honest, we've casted those teams plenty already here on HoNcast. 2, Lions and OTP. Those are the 2 teams that beat Complexity and Stay Green. They're in the winter semifinals because they beat these 2 teams. So you got to give respect to those guys, and we're going to be casting them simply because of that. So definitely, and that should be a great best of 3. I mean, again, I know these sexy teams are Stay Green and Complexity, but as we've seen with HoN Tour, especially recently here in these cycles, there's plenty of teams out there that are growing, man, and they are able to compete, and if not even beat the best of the best. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be in about a half an hour from now is when it's scheduled to start at least. So, Matt, do we know if we want to stay on or get the stream on? Okay, so we are going to keep the stream on here. So definitely you can stay tuned. Don't need to worry about it. You're turning off for now. But we are going to go on break for about a half an hour or so. But once we come back, we will have One Trick Pony going to be taking on Lion Esports Club in that winner's bracket semi-final matchup. That should be a blast. So an interesting start to today. With some results, and obviously with the issues that we were having earlier, but things does seem like they calmed down, and we finally made it through there. So
it's pretty crazy.
Here's to hoping that we can get a strong finish now here at HoNcast as far as coverage goes. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a short break here. For myself, Breaking CBK, this guy Tralf. Follow him at TralfHoN.
And over here, breaking CPK.
All that jazz, you know it by now. Anyway, sit tight, guys. About a half an hour from now, we're coming back at you. OTP versus Line. Stay tuned.